What do I mean by being a deal magnet, right? I consider myself a deal magnet. I've had deals find their way to me. Although I'm not just sitting in my house and thinking about deals and then all of a sudden my phone rings. We're not wizards, we're human beings, but there is a collaborative process in the manifestation process. Okay, it's collaborative, but you can manifest by taking action and setting clear intentions. So if we look at a wholesale transaction in its entirety, right? The first thing a lot of folks have questions about when they're getting into the business model is, Jamil, where is the funds coming from for these deals? How much money am I going to need? And am I going to be required to like write checks for earnest deposits, or am I having to close this wholesale transaction or this first side of this contract before I sell it? And I know this might seem like a basic question to some of you, and some of you are thinking, yeah, I'm wondering that too. So remember, guys, when we are doing the micro flip style of wholesale transaction, which we teach here in the program in the third week, a micro flip will typically not require any money out of your pocket. A micro flip will always, or most certainly 9 out of 10 times, have its earnest deposit funded by the initial AC wholesaler. So that's really great for those of you that are just getting started that don't have access to earnest money to write a $5, $10, or $2 or $10,000 check. That might be a difficult situation for you right now. So if that is you, then looking at micro flipping might be the lowest hanging fruit because you're not going to be required to have access to funds. On the other side of that, when we're doing more of a direct to seller approach, whether that be through agent outreach, cold calling, or texting, or any of these other methods that you would employ to get deals under contract belly to belly to seller, earnest deposits will be required from the AC wholesaler. And if that's you, then you will be required to put up an EMD. Some of you might say, well, Jamil, that shoots me in the foot right now because I don't have access to EMD. So does that mean I shouldn't do agent outreach? No, that does not mean you should not do agent outreach because of this golden concept called squatting up. Many students that don't have access to earnest deposits that are doing agent outreach and getting opportunities from agents are working with other more established wholesalers, JVing with them to have the earnest deposits funded for them. In fact, routinely at my Keegley corporate store, as well as some of our franchises, we will routinely put up EMD for students or for newbies in the business. So if you are doing agent outreach or you are doing seller direct outreach and you are in need of earnest money, make sure that you communicate with a Keegley branch or another tenured wholesaler. They will gladly JV with you and put up the EMD as long as your deal is actually a deal, right? So remember, guys, it needs to be a deal, right? So get the numbers, and that second week of the course is really important because that's where we get our understanding of how to determine value. The next step is, once you have figured out where the money is coming from, how do we attune ourselves to be more receptive to these deals, right? So how do we attract deals? And that is a really imperative part of what we do in the business, because we can't just constantly be on the phone sending texts or making calls. Stuff still has to start coming to us inbound, right? And I can tell you, after 6 years here in Arizona working in wholesale, I've been in wholesale since 2002, so I'm 20 years in the business, but I've been working 6 years in AZ, 5 of which were with Keegley, the company I co-founded with my partners. I routinely, to this day, even though I'm at the top of the food chain when it comes to this business, I am still attracting deals, and I'm doing no outreach myself. Okay, I haven't sent a text message to a wholesaler in years. I haven't made a phone call to an agent in years. I don't do that anymore. I don't need to do that anymore. My traffic is totally inbound, completely inbound. So how am I attracting these deals? Well, first and foremost, guys, I'm still communicating that I'm in the business, right? And so I'm leaving signals for people, as should you. For all of you that have these ghost Facebook or Instagram profiles, for your companies or your businesses, your wholesale or real estate business, a profile that has no friends or no pictures of your family, that just has a "we buy houses" post from 2019. Yeah, some of you have that. I follow you guys back, and if I don't follow you back, just trust that I creep on some of your guys' social accounts, okay? And I see just how little you're doing with respect to letting the world know that you're in this business. So the signals that you leave to people will let people know that you are receptive to looking at deals, looking at opportunities. So be loud, be proud of what you're doing. Don't have this subconscious wall allow you to feel guilt, shame, or embarrassment for taking steps towards your financial liberation. All right, that's what we're doing here. And a lot of folks are embarrassed by that because you fear judgment from your family members, you fear judgment from your friends. You think that if people see that I'm doing this real estate thing, then they're going to judge me. They're going to think, oh, wow, there they go again, or there she goes again, or there he goes again, chasing another shiny object, chasing another get rich quick scheme, chasing another multi-level marketing. I can't wait for the phone to ring and they have vitamins to sell me or makeup, right? Some of you guys might have this in your past because you've been trying, you've been doing things, you've been interested in how you can liberate yourself financially, and because of that, you might have communicated to friends and family in the past that you're doing things to do that. And because they are trapped in their 9-to-5 jobs, and because they are trapped in their limiting beliefs, and because they are trapped in their insecurities, they will project those onto you. So we train ourselves to stay quiet. That is not going to work. That it's not going to work. Energetically, you are blocking your blessings, first and foremost, because you are proving and showing to the universe, to source, to yourself, and to others that you truly don't believe that success in the business is for you, because you're still only halfway in, or you might only have a toe in or 2 toes in. You're not fully embracing the fact that you are doing this. So do that. Be real about your involvement in the business model by leaving signals in your life that you are doing it. Second, outreach will find its way back to you. You guys, the second law of thermodynamics, okay? I know you guys, I might lose some of you with this science stuff, but Newton's law, okay? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, okay? What does that mean? It means that when you do outreach, when you are putting out information, when you are putting out lines, when you're putting out fishing lines, when you're putting out communication, when you're putting out energy, it needs to find its way back to you. It has to. That energy just can't sit there and die. It will find a way to find its way back to you. So the more outreach you do, the more inbound will come, right? The more outreach you do, the more inbound will find you, because you are laying the lines, because you are leaving the signals, because you are making the calls, because you are sending the texts, because you are doing the work. And then last but not least, this is the internal side of it. Internally, what are you doing to tune yourself up to being receptive to the attraction of an opportunity? For instance, your attitude with people when you're communicating with them. What tone are you using? What words are you using? Are you being thankful to people, even if they don't have an opportunity for you? I'll tell you, I have seen some Astro students text messaging or Facebook outreach, and what happens sometimes is when you're doing your outreach and you're talking to a potential acquisition wholesaler and you're asking if they have any opportunities that you could take a look at to evaluate, and they don't, you stop responding. You don't thank them. You don't say, thank you for at least responding to my outreach. You let it sit there like this was just a dirty napkin, right? Hey, do you got any deals for me? No, not at this time. And then crickets? Not even a thank you for the response. I appreciate you. Hey, I'll reach back out to you in a few days. Right? So you're not showing the gratitude. You're not showing the gratitude because you're not feeling the gratitude. So how you tune yourself before you even begin any of this is super important. Before I get on these calls, okay, whether or not I feel sick, whether or not I feel tired, whether or not I feel energized, whether or not I feel motivated, before I get on these calls, I express my sincere gratitude to God for giving me the opportunity to be here and talk with you guys every single time. And you can feel it. Can you or can you not? So, do you not believe that if you set an intention to receive opportunities, to be grateful for those opportunities, and then go about your day doing the outreach, doing the conversations, comping the deals, and writing the offers, do you not feel that just the energy that you are attaching to the activity might have within itself a charge that might bring to you an opportunity that you could connect the dots on? And so beginning your day by expressing gratitude for the opportunity to even have those conversations is huge. Remember, guys, every one of you here is mentally sound, physically okay, alive, breathing, right? And living in a part of the world where this is even possible, which means that you are in the top 1% of the population of this planet, that we are the luckiest people around because we are where we live, we have the minds we have the faculties of talk, we have our hands, we have our eyes, we have our noses, we have our ears, we have our things, we've got our faculties to us. And so by beginning with that gratitude and then extending that gratitude in every bit of communication that you're taking out and putting out into the world, you will find that come back to you. Now, identifying opportunities is absolutely important. And that would be the third step to what I would say is going to be how we get our deals done. Identifying opportunities. Because if we can't see the opportunity, then it's all just information and noise. Right? Now, when we are doing outreach, when we are doing this outreach, when we're having these conversations with agents, when we're having conversations with wholesalers, when we are having conversations with homeowners, what I find happens 9 out of 10 times for wholesalers that quit the business. And yesterday I was in Utah. I don't know if any of you were following me on social media. We flew in and out of Utah. I had an opportunity to connect with about 150 Astro and Sub-2 students and real estate investors in that state. And I had this wonderful gentleman by the name of Aki who raised his hand and said, I quit wholesaling because last year I had 5 deals under contract and $110,000 in potential assignment fees, and I wasn't able to find a buyer for any of them. And so honestly, I don't even feel that this opportunity or this business is real. This is what he brought to the Q&A, and it was awesome that he asked and he said that. But I'll tell you what I immediately understood from what he had to say. That he had 5 not opportunities under contract, that he had 5 houses that he wrote full retail contracts on and nobody wanted to buy them because they weren't deals. That's what happened. And why I am so obsessed with you guys understanding how to comp correctly and being able to identify the real opportunities is because if you're wasting your time and you're spending your energy trying to sell deals that are not deals, you will very quickly fail and you will get frustrated to the point where you may quit. So before, and again, for those of you that are just starting with us, I love the ambition to want to skip past the first week or the second week. I love that you're just like, I heard on the call, the sales call, when I talked to the enrollment director, they told me week 3 is when I'm going to learn how to do the stuff, and I want to get to the 3rd week. I'm tired of this mindset stuff, and I'm tired of this comping thing. I understand how to comp, and I understand how to be happy. Show me how to get the deals. Right? And I get these emails from some of you. Hey, unlock week 3. Hey, how come I can't get week 3 unlocked? Hey, what's happening? Where's my week 3? I need the deals. Okay, I get it. But you don't know what a deal is until you understand what a deal is. So really figuring out the appraisal rules, like ingesting them, metabolizing them so they become a part of the way that you think and operate is extremely important. Doing the reps, guys, if you're on a fitness journey, okay, would you not say that doing the reps in the gym is important? Even the exercises that you don't like maybe abs or calf raises, right? Most people, they don't work on their calves, they don't work on their abs, they just do everything else because the abs and the calves are pointless and nobody sees them or whatever. That's sometimes the feeling that people get. It's all important. It's all important. Everything is important, and really understanding value is important. So doing the reps on the appraisal rules, showing up to Straight Outta Compin', showing up to the comp calls that we do twice a week on this platform here, that again, I'm not trying to give anybody crap, but if you look at the attendance on these support calls, like a Tuesday call can have 230, 240 people show up. Then you look at the comp call, it's like 30 of you. Right? I'm not giving anybody trouble. I'm just saying putting in the reps for understanding value is important. So finding time to be a part of that and watching how it's done is going to absolutely help you. And then lastly, guys, closing the transaction. Okay? How many wholesale careers have died because a wholesaler found an opportunity, then found a buyer, and then sat back and waited for the deal to close that never closed? Did you know that 25% of all consummated wholesale deals, meaning buyer and seller, EMD, all of that connected at title, 25% of these deals still don't close? So you can do all the work. You can do the outreach. You can sell the deal. You can get the non-refundable earnest money. And if you're not babysitting your transaction through the process, 25% of these deals won't close. So understanding the process of title and escrow, understanding how you can solve problems that show up during an escrow period, how to negotiate liens, how to communicate with possible creditors. That's important stuff. Making sure that your buyer actually has their loan in place if they're getting hard money. All of these processes, all of these things, the 25% of your transactions are going to have a title and escrow hiccup. And if you're not being proactive in the process, you will lose those deals. I promise you. And sometimes, and here's the thing, I've had some students come in here and get 5 deals. I think it was Mia Smith. She had 4 or 5 deals under contract and sold. And for one reason or another, they all unraveled. All 4 of them in her first month or 2 of wholesaling. Now imagine how disheartening that could be. But because she understands and understood that she had more work to do through the process of title and escrow, she pivoted and started getting more hands-on with that process. Now she's running a business that's routinely doing $15,000 to $25,000 a month in fees. By learning that process and being true to that process, she is honoring the work that both her and the ACK wholesaler have done by making sure that the title and escrow process is moving along the way it should be. So I find them extremely important, and we get these questions over and over and over and over and over again.